Hello, Just Too Good here. Finally, I get to review the Ninja Turtles Lego sets. And now this is in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but based on the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie, where they kind of just call it Ninja Turtles here, but the full name is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. This is set number 79115. It's called the Turtle Van Takedown. Has 368 pieces, 4 minifigures, and it retails for $40 in the United States. Found this at Target, and now let's take a look at the packaging. So here is the box for the set, really well done. I like the little artwork in the corner right there, even though it reminds us of how weird they look. I'm kidding. And you can see this green design to it, this really kind of green color I think is really cool. And the logo is incorrect because the full name is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles for the movie, but this was probably designed before they changed the name of the movie. But you can see it displays the front set quite well. On the back, there's some little details here and there. And on the top, there is this little minifigure thing. So that's kind of cool. And also, it does come with a few instruction booklets, too. And you can see inside there's this nice little spread of the minifigure checklist, which I think was pretty cool. And also there's that right there, which kind of advertises the sets. Then right here, there's nothing really special here besides this advertisement, which on the first half of the year sets, they really just had the cartoon versions, but now they added those movie set versions. So I think that's really kind of cool. I like these little advertisements for the movie sets. So here's Michelangelo, and his torso printing and his leg printing is really well done, but obviously the big difference from the cartoon versions is his face mold is totally different, as goes for his face printing, which looks a little bit weird because I guess we're not used to it. But yeah, it is very accurate to the movie, so I can't complain there. And also his shell mold is completely different from the cartoon series too. And I'll do a little comparison later on in the video comparing the minifigures to their cartoon counterparts. But he does have this olive skin or olive green skin right there. And his weapons is just these little pair of nunchucks right here. And it's the same ones that you can get in a lot of the cartoon sets. But anyways, very well done in the printing aspect. Like I said, he is very accurate to the movie in the sense of his look and in particular his facial printing. Then on the back you can see his shell right here, much more oblong in the bottom than compared to the cartoon versions. And it's a completely different mold too because it's not only is it oblong on the bottom, but it also has that little stud in the middle. But I want to get a nice little look at that. And here it is right there. It goes around on the neck just like the other shell piece. I like that little stud right there. And on the back, you can see they do have this little printing. And if you want to get a better look at his head mold, you can see on the back there's some really nice ridge printing and detailing on this little bandana right here. And then his face right there. And on the top, you can see he has those little spots, which kind of look a little bit odd. And that's really it for Michelangelo. And here's Raphael. And he has this kind of darker skin than Michelangelo, which is how he appears in kind of most of the TV show interpretations and movie interpretations and whatnot. But you can see his legs right there actually have some very nice printing too, and his torso has some very nice printing too. I forgot to point this out, but Michelangelo is exclusive to the set, but Raphael is not exclusive to the set. Now, his facial print is exclusive to the set because the only other set he comes in is the middle set, which I think is called the Snow Rig Getaway or something like that. And in that set, he has kind of a smirking face showing his teeth. So this version is kind of exclusive to this set, but the character himself or the movie version is not exclusive to the set, if you get what I'm saying. So his torso, like I said, and his legs are very nice. Also, his face has a very kind of cool part where the top is just this kind of bandana right here, which is less of a face mask and more of a bandana. I think that's kind of really well done because in the movie he has a bandana too. So I like how Lego got past kind of the difficulties of making an entirely new mold and they just colored this top part red. So that's really kind of cool. He does have these two, I think it's called scythes as his weapon right there. And on the back, he has a very interesting variation on his shell compared to Michelangelo, where he has these little bandages right there. Not sure how that plays into the movie, but that is very interesting. And of course, just like Michelangelo, you can take off his shell by taking off his head mold right there. And his shell comes off easily like that. Also, I forgot to point this out on Michelangelo, but The same goes for him as it goes for Raphael, where they both have this little indentation right there, and that's so you could kind of clip on a visor piece for the, for, I think it's used in the biggest set because they have a little visor piece for Donatello. So that's kind of an interesting little mold that's not really present on the cartoon versions. Here is Vern. I'm not sure what role he plays in the movie, but I do know that Will Arnett plays him, so that's cool because he is the voice of Batman from the Lego movie, so that's kind of cool. And he has this little printed piece right here, which is a little cell phone. Same printing that we got in the Mutation Chamber Unleashed set from earlier this year from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles line. But he does have this very cool jacket and kind of a old face that we've gotten. I believe it was used in Indiana Jones back in 2008. No back facial printing or anything like that, but he does have some back torso printing and a very nice slicked brown hair coloring of that slicked hair piece, which I haven't gotten in a while. I think the last that I got it in was the Burrows from 2010 in that color. Okay, so here is the foot soldier, and of course this is different from the cartoon version because you could kind of see his face under there, but also he is not exclusive to this set. This exact same version comes in the biggest set, which is a Turtle Lair Invasion set. So that's kind of disappointing because there's no variation or anything like that. But he does have some interesting printing, and I really like how he came out with these nice little legs right here and this kind of cool rugged look from him. He looks a little bit like he's from the military or something like that. And he has this nice little gun right here. And on the back, you can see his back torso printing right there. So he's the only one who doesn't have an exclusive variation or anything because Raphael has an exclusive variation, and then Michelangelo and Vern are exclusive to this set. Alright, so here's a comparison of the movie version from the set of Michelangelo to the cartoon version of Michelangelo. And you can see they both have different head molds. Michelangelo right here, his face looks a little bit more cartoony and less detailed, but I like it a lot more, even though it's a bit bigger than this one, because this one's a lot more slim. But they also have some different torso and leg molds, also different skin colors overall. But you can see that Michelangelo right here has some very, very detailed torso and legs. And this one isn't too detailed, but it fits kind of the cartoony look that's found in the show. On the back, they both have different little turtle shell molds right there. Michelangelo right here has a stud, and it's much more oblong, I guess, on the bottom. And also, it fits a little bit differently because this one goes, the big part right here goes on the, or the small part goes on the top, while the more oblong part goes on the bottom, while this one, just the whole shell goes on the bottom from the neck. So that's kind of interesting. Also, the side right here, this Michelangelo has these little clips right here, while this Michelangelo does not. So that's really it. But also kind of an interesting thing is that you cannot fit the cartoon Michelangelo's head on the movie turtle shells. So if you want to try that, it won't work. But you could fit the movie turtles onto the cartoon turtle shells. So kind of interesting. Comparison of Raphael from the movie to the cartoon version. Just a quick look because I kind of pointed out all the kind of molding differences with Michelangelo. But in particular, the back doesn't have any of these little bandages right here. And his skin is much darker than the one found in the sets. And also, he has a bandana in the movie than he does in this one, where he just has a regular face mask. The one from the TV shows of the foot soldiers has kind of this kind of cartoony look to it that's not really as detailed as the ones found in the movie sets, where they have this more realistic and I guess more intimidating look to them. And that's kind of interesting. And also, you can see his face right there, while you cannot see the face of the foot soldiers from the TV show. And you can see the back right there. So very interesting how they both have kind of a different style to them. This one's more realistic, while this one's more cartoony and less menacing. So here's the first part of the set. It's just this kind of little restraining table. It has that little printed gouge piece right there. And it does have these little parts right here, which kind of act like hinges. But what you're supposed to do is you put them down and you hold down a minifigure in particular. They tell you to hold down Michelangelo. And the cool part is that this is all on this little hinge piece right here. So you can move it in any kind of way facing up you want. But I guess the most, or the best way to put it is kind of like this. And what you want to do is put Michelangelo on there and hold him down like that. So that's probably a scene from the movie. Okay, so here is this little security perimeter part. It's the next part of the build. There's this little gate that raises and lowers, kind of like a security guard gate. And there's these little printed tiles right there which have the black stripes on that yellow 1x4, which is a very common one. It has appeared since studios. And also there's this little part right here which is unfortunately is not printed, but it's a tile that says warning, private property, keep out. So that's on a little sticker right there that you just put onto this 2x4 tile. So that's kind of interesting. And on the side right here, there's this little tank. I guess it's like a fuel tank or whatnot. Just a nice little brick built detail. And on the back right here, you can kind of see where somebody could be put to control the gate. Maybe like a little minifigure right there. And also this little play feature right here with the lamppost, where if you push this down, the lamppost kind of flies off like that. And taking a further look at the lamppost, the top part kind of swivels because it's connected to the post itself, or this little piece right here, because it has a Technic pin in the middle. And also you could raise and lower the little light right there any way you want. So that's kind of interesting. And also there's this little camera right here. So that's really cool. And now on to the turtle van itself. And here is the turtle van itself. Very, very durable and sturdy build. I do like that. And it's really kind of chunky because it's just kind of not that wide, but very kind of compact. And that's cool because the inside is actually very spacious. And we'll take a look at the inside later. But on the side right here, you can see that there's this little sticker right here and the sticker right here for the window. So that looks very nice. And on the front right here, there's those two little windows and this front part which has a hook right here. So that's a little play feature, I guess, but they don't really advertise it as a play feature. But it just kind of gives a little detail right there with this winch. So I thought that was kind of interesting. Also, a nice little detail on the front is this little ladder in yellow, which I haven't seen very often. And it also has these little lights right here, which are put on by putting studs on these little clips onto this little rod piece right here. So that's kind of interesting, but it gives it a very unique look with these little headlights on the top of the windows. So I really do like that. On the side, there's the other little sticker. It's basically just a reverse of this sticker on this side right here. So that's cool when you get one on the little window right here. And I have to reiterate that none of these stickers were hard to put in, were not annoying whatsoever. Also, the tires right here are kind of this bigger tire, but the diameter kind of molding for this is not exclusive to the set. But the exclusive piece in this coloring is this little yellow rim inside, because that only comes in yellow in this set. So that's really well done and kind of a cool little feature to the set where you get an exclusive coloring. And on the side, you can see there's this little antenna right here, which is kind of cool. That's not present on the adjacent side. And on the back, it says ANJ 79115, which is a set number right there, and I guess the designer's name. Kind of an interesting license plate because usually license plates are just on a 1x2 tile. And there are some little backlights right there. And you can see part of the window right there. So taking a further look at this, you can see the top is kind of interesting because it uses these little roof pieces that I know they use for the smart car, but they're in this kind of olive green color, which actually make it kind of a rare color to get this piece in, because the only other sets you can get it in is the Turtle Sub and the Shell Razor set, which are two Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles sets that are both $60. So this is the cheapest way you can get it. Lifting the roof right there, you can see the inside, and the inside is really very, very vacant, but I like that because you could add your own stuff and there's not anything that's really getting in the way. On the back, there's just this little computer screen, which is printed, old printing, not exclusive to the set, and that little printed keyboard right there, which are very nice. And I like how they kind of have that design where the computer screen's right there, and then on the side it's right here. It looks a little bit like what you would find in an ambulance. And on the opposite side, you can see right here, there's a steering wheel. No other details whatsoever. So it's just really kind of a part where you could put maybe Vern standing or sitting while controlling the car. So that's kind of cool. But the cool feature is that these little side doors open up and they reveal these little missiles right there. So that's kind of cool because you could just kind of prop them up like that and they look perfectly closed. But when you open them, there's these two little flick and fire missiles. So it's really kind of cool in the playability aspect. And with the roof right here, there's also these two other flick and fire missiles. So that's cool, and you could just prop off the roof up and down. A little flaw, I guess, but it's been very sturdy for me, so I can't complain too much, is that the roof is not connected by any means in terms of putting it with studs. There's just these little tiles right here. So if you do flip it upside down, it will fall off. But I mean, when I'm playing around with it, it doesn't like rattle up and down. It stays in put really, really well. So it is not really that big of a flaw, if you ask me. So that's really it for this vehicle. One last look at it. You got the front right there, the side, the back, the side, and then on the bottom, there's not really anything. Then on the top right there, there's just the roof. So really, really cool vehicle. Now on to final verdict. Overall, I really like this set. I think it's a really well done set. Definitely one of the better Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in general Lego sets. I think that it's cool that this is the cheapest way to get the Ninja Turtles movie universe in Lego form. I would have maybe preferred a battle pack or something like that than not getting any at all, but still, this is actually really, really well done. The minifigures in particular have some excellent printing. I like how Vern right here actually has an exclusive torso print. I think that's actually really cool. I like the two turtles right here in terms of their molding. Their face prints still look really, really creepy and weird, but I can't blame them because it's extremely accurate to how they look in the movie. Maybe it's a little bit too accurate. But I do give Lego kudos for making it that accurate, while these were probably designed like a year ahead before the movie was even done. So I have to give them kudos to that. I love the molding on their turtle shells. I really like the turtle shells. I like how there's a variation from the other Ninja Turtles minifigures from, you know, the cartoon universe. And like I said before, the build of this is really, really well done. It's very sturdy. The inside, while it's a little bit desolate, is cool because you could add your own stuff in there. And I do like the little details, like the little keyboard and stuff with the computer. I thought that was really kind of cool. Also, these little thrones right here, this is a cool little feature that I haven't seen too much where they hold a minifigure down. I think the last time I've seen that in a set that I got was Spider-Man's Doc Ock Ambush. Also, there's some little fun play features with this, with raising and lowering the gate and making this part blow up. So yeah, the build of this is really cool. And last, the pieces are really cool. You get some very nice olive green pieces on this vehicle right here. In particular, some that don't come in many other sets, like these little roof parts right here, which only come in two other sets, which are both Ninja Turtle sets that are more expensive than this, which are the Shell Razor and the Turtle Sub, respectively, both $60. Also, you do get some nice little tire rims right here in that yellow color, which are exclusive to this set in that color, which are really cool. Also, some other nice olive green pieces like these little 1x4 bricks. So yeah, it's a really, really good set for $40. I do highly recommend it, especially if you're a child. This will be really fun to play with, but if you're an adult, there's some really nice pieces here. So it's really kind of for all ages. So I do rate this set an A. Not an A+, because it's not perfect. The price per piece ratio in particular is kind of weak. And it's kind of sad that only 3 of the minifigures are exclusive and there's only 4 minifigures overall. But still, I really do like how this set came out. So that's it for this review, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.